farmers, welcome back to the Pacific Northwest. Yep, it's raining. Got a worker in our class Axion tractor weeding out the fields up here in the upper plateau that we seeded just the other day. Don't have narrow tires on it because the crop is in the first growth stage, so should be okay unless the crops tend to grow. Then I might have some issues. But even if they do grow, I believe when you have on a helper, it won't crush the crops, but it will if the helper doesn't get the field, and I jump in the vehicle and move it. So hopefully everything will be okay. I think it should be. It shouldn't take them too long to go ahead and weed the fields. As for what else is going on this morning, well, we got the Case Quad Track over here. We got a contract in Field 35 for cultivating for $12,500. So that's a nice little piece of income here. Yeah, I don't know. When I started cultivating it this morning with the worker, I started thinking it would be kind of nice to have that field, wouldn't it? So the rest of our fields, how are they doing? Well, everything's looking good except for just the upper plateau. If we go to here to the soil composition, everything is double fertilized and weeded. We're ready for harvest down here in the western plateau, but it's raining. So the upper plateau, everything's looking good just for the weeds. Where are we this morning? Well, we're going to be right up here. It's raining. Not much else to do today. The other thing we will be doing today, and I got to keep my eye on the price here, is a lot of these things. Egg prices. Oh, that price stopped going up. Okay, it was going up just before I started recording. It stopped at 28. We may be selling some of our eggs today. I shouldn't say maybe. Probably be selling some of our eggs today. The other thing that we could be selling today as well is the cotton. Hopefully we can get the cotton harvest in today, but it could be one of these days where it just rains all day. But for starters, what we're going to do, because this is not running at all, is we're going to do some tree cutting. Something I haven't done in a while. On this map, anyways. I do have one of the Volvo trucks up here ready to go, instead of dragging it all the way over, like we were doing before. Let's continue on this. Well, we got a couple rows here. Yeah, let's knock down these trees here. This should be much easier than I'm used to, just because, well, on Green Mountain Forest, it's kind of hard to see a lot of the things that I'm doing. I just need to check the settings on here. Is it 8 meters that we got? Not that it matters. 8 meters, this means less cutting I need to do. There we go. Yeah, so as we look at the forecast in the upper right-hand corner, it just shows rain. It doesn't show the future forecast, except for the future forecast might be just rain. So I think it might be raining all day long today, which will put us, I don't want to say behind in our tree work, our field work. If it rains all day today, that just means when tomorrow comes, a lot of our fields will probably be ready for harvest. We already know the western lower plateau is ready for harvest. The barley could be ready for harvest. I don't think, what do we plant up here? Soybeans? Soybeans won't be ready until late tomorrow, so I'm not too concerned about that. But, yeah, so that's where we kind of stand today. Not much that we can do for field work other than weeding, and I prefer not to weed if I can help it. I mean, if I can put a worker on it and I got other things to do, I can do. Because, I mean, if I had to weed and a worker could cut the trees, maybe I'd do it just the opposite, because I've been cutting enough trees as it is. But I don't mind cutting trees anymore like I used to. Gotten so much better at it. Practice makes perfect. I actually have thought about maybe getting a manual loader and doing it that way, but we tried a little bit on here, and it frustrated me because, remember, we tried the train up here, tried to load the trees up via the train, which we did. It worked okay until the train left, and then the logs just went everywhere. But I'm thinking in the future, not on Green Mountain Forest, because, man, that would just take me forever. But on a map that doesn't have many trees, and we do plan on cutting down some trees, maybe I'll go to manual loading. And we could be doing that like on this map here. That tree is not thick enough. Don't give me that baloney. Hey, wait, you cut. We saw the sawdust fly. Yeah, so in the future, once we get done harvesting the trees that we do have here, we'll be replanting some trees and then wait for them to grow. Without seasons, I really forgot how long it takes trees to grow on this. Is it 2 days? Is it 2 days for trees just like crops? I don't know. Because we are on slow growth. If it was seasons, I think seasons takes 5 years for the trees to fully grow. And I did see where I think my weeder must be done, because I only got 2 workers going. Actually, technically, I only got one worker going. The other one's course play, so... Yeah, we'll whip through these trees pretty quick, load them on up. And then what I want to do is, the reason why I'm not using the Vulture tractor is because I want to go ahead, I want to clean out the chickens, clean out the sheep, and start selling some of those eggs. Because we are just about out of egg pallets, so the price is up near 3,000. It's pretty close. I mean, we never saw the price at 3,000, so it's at 2,800. So it's pretty much at max, unless there's a great demand when it's at max. And of course, I don't know, something's different when I started farming here this morning on the Pacific Northwest. Just knowing that my loan interest is now below $100,000, it just, I don't know, it just feels so much better. So much better. It's like a little bit of weight been lifting off our shoulders here. So I think the next target I got to set for myself is to get the loan below $30 million. That won't be done today because we still owe like 35 million-ish. But we do have days here in the farm where if everything goes right, we can earn $1 million in a day. So, you know, stuff like that can happen where we just zip out a lot of that money pretty darn quick. And now with self-marketing that we have on the map, and we're going to be using that a little bit today with the eggs, we're going to get much better pricing. I need to go grab that Claas tractor and weeder, move them over to the next field. Oh, you're not quite done there. Oh, I see. I kind of forgot. This is my bad. And when I start you off by the road here, you have a little bit of a problem because when you get down here, you kind of run into the fence. So definitely want to take care of all the weeds. I don't want to be losing my 15% on the harvest. I am, the new DLC that'll be coming out, well, as you see this video, it will be March, so this month. There's not much in that DLC that kind of catches my eye. The only thing that kind of catches my eye in that DLC is, I do believe there's a weeder in that DLC that's, is it 22 meters? 22 meters wide? That would be rather nice to have. Nothing wrong with this weeder at all. I mean, this weeder's like 12 meters wide. And this being a modded one, it does weed at, I think it was 12 miles an hour we just saw. Go ahead and put that down. Hire a worker and get field number 2 done. How are we doing over here cultivating? We doing all right? Yeah, he's doing 3 headlands and he should have no problem continuing. Speaking of continuing, back on our tree harvester, I want to get rid of these rows. And then we'll jump in our Vulture tractor, which is somewhere. And then we'll start selling some products and get us some cash. And it should be a good day for cash, especially with the eggs at $3,000 per, well, $2,800 per 1,000 liters. We got tons of eggs to sell. Tons and tons. Don't be telling me the tree, I don't know what is with that where it said the tree is too thick or too big. I do believe the stump grinder is up here as well. Not that these trees are really in my way. I mentioned this last episode as well. I'm not going to bother. I'm not putting the link up for it, but there is a Pacific Northwest map out there that is for logging. So basically, I think what the modder did there is they just took the map, took all the fields, and planted trees in them. So I don't know. I know. I'm just going by what a couple people wrote in the comments when I saw the mod. It's not like Green Mountain Forest where it is true forest. I'm not going to say either way, but yeah, so if you do like the way this map is laid out and you want to do a lot of this tree harvesting, there's a map out there that is the Pacific. I think if you just search Pacific Northwest logging, you might be able to find it. I'm doing enough logging as it is. I know you're not that thick. Come on, there you go. But this does allow us to get enough logs in the wood chipper to make it run for a long period of time, I would think. Of course, when I say a long period of time, maybe like 2 days? Yep, had that problem where you got to get the tree just right sometimes. Better get that cut before a train comes along. I do like this tree harvester better than the Komatsu, the one that we're using on Green Mountain Forest. I don't know why. I mean, they're pretty much... one doesn't do something different than the other. As far as I know. I mean, it shouldn't. But, yeah, there's something about this one. Maybe it's the color of it? Yeah, red is not my favorite color. I don't want to say I hate the color red, but... maybe that's the reason. Alright, so we'll cut down these 3 other trees here. Then we'll move on to taking care of the chickens, the eggs, and cleaning them out. Of course, when I mean clean out the chickens, that means clean out their feed and just give it right back to them. How many more rows do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably not anywhere near yet ready to plant new trees. This is why we kind of kept the tree farm around. I kind of thought about, I'm like, well, if it does happen to rain and I got nothing to do, at least by having the tree farm up here, it always gives you the opportunity to cut down trees and keep the wood chipper ongoing. Nothing worse than having a rainy day in the farm and having nothing to do. Of course, when it does rain, I mean, you can do everything but harvest, pretty much. I mean, if you can still cultivate, plow, seed if you want, fertilize, weed. So just because it's raining, I don't want to say you had nothing to do. But if you have a day where your fields are ready for harvest, or they're already seeded, kind of like we're at right now, right here. I mean, I was kind of planning today for harvesting and cutting grass, but, yeah, can't do that. Alright, so this row is not quite completely cut. Neither is the other row, honestly. I'll just go ahead and park the tree harvester right on down here so I know where I'm kind of leaving off. Okay, let's go grab our truck and get this wood chipper up and going again. I do believe I brought diesel fuel over to it before, so I think it's going to have like over 4,000 liters of diesel fuel, which is a lot. Yeah, that's good for a while. Alright, let's bring up the HUD. Yeah, we'll switch it to the right. Turn it on. I was down at the sugar factory this morning, took care of all the pallets there, so that should be up and running. Went to the Pepsi factory, took care of filling that up with some water. Oh, wow, yeah, the Pepsi factory. Yeah, that thing is, that thing was lagging out pretty good this morning. So much so I couldn't even steer my truck around there. Give me the wood. I will say this auto-loading logging trailer that I have here The AoE on this thing is pretty good. Although sometimes you get occasional logs or whatever that don't want to load. And then when the logs start getting a little bit messy, like that, we're not going far, so that's a good enough load for now. Let's get this wood chipper up and running. There we go. So I'm going to go around, pick up all these logs, bring it over to the wood chipper. Then, like I said, we'll head on down, we'll clean up the sheep, the chickens, and sell some eggs and see what the weather's looking like. Probably pretty much like it is right now. Ended up with almost 450,000 liters of wood to be chipped at the wood chipper. I ended up going and taking care of the last row of trees I parked my tree harvester at. Cut down all those as well. The Class Action tractor is over in field number 4, which is in the northwest. They are weeding that field at the current time. And I've taken a contract in actually field 34 as well for cultivating. I figured, well, since we are over there, is my weight tipped over? If my weight is tipped over, that's not going to be helpful for me. Yeah, so I figured since our quad tech is over there, might as well go ahead and do the other contract in field 34. I mean, we're right there. I have no idea which way that weight is facing. Apparently the correct way. At least for now, it's the correct way. Let's go ahead and put the front loader on. And since the bucket's already on it, we'll go ahead and clean out the animals first. As you can see, we are loaded up to the tilt with some eggs over here. So it should be a good day for making some money on the eggs. Yeah, forecast is not looking any different, is it? No, it's not. So we're coming in here to clean out the manure for the sheep. So get their productivity from 90% up to 100% for at least a little while. I do like this sheep pasture that we have here as I'm hitting the wall here. It's not good. Although it is a little tricky to get in here sometimes and get back out. And now I am stuck on the fence. Now carefully. No, don't hit the wrong button. Now I gotta clean that up. Like I've said, every time I clean this out, it'd be easier if they made the fence to get in straight ahead. Seems the best way to do it, but this is the way they chose to go ahead and do it, so. And now we'll pile this into the little manure area that they have for us here. Alright, now we'll turn around and go clean out the chickens. Tons and tons of eggs to sell. That looked like there was a lot of feed on the ground. I didn't pick up that much now, did I? And, yep, go around this way. And there, now our animals should be a productivity of 100%. Now it's time to grab the pallet forks. And this is probably where I should get that bag handler from this CSZ pack. Or some would say CSZ pack. But we got the pallet forks up here, and the shop is, well, the shop is down below, so. And I don't feel like that far to go get it. Depends on how much I struggle with this here. Yep, my helper has completed. So what I'm going to do is, my helper being the class action tractor, well, yeah, he didn't, I don't know what it is about this little section of the field, but they never want to complete this little section here. So I'm going to go ahead, take care of this here really quickly, then bring him over to field number 3, which is the last field that he needs to do. Get a worker started on that, and then we'll go back to, well, at least start selling our eggs. Well, this is probably going to take me a while until I get the hang of it. I've been so kind of used to using the bag lifter. And now just got to find the trigger for the eggs here. Is it going to be here? Or is it going to be around the back? Is it going to be one of these where I actually got to place the pallet down? I may need to turn traffic off if I'm going to do this correctly. Okay, so after a little trial and error with this self-marketing thing, so I was trying to sell the eggs in the vending machine, and I finally got it to work. So now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to place this in here and make it look good, I suppose. Let's see, if I go ahead and I got the traffic turned off as well. I really don't want to put the vending machine in front of the, it's like a spice rack, but I think that's what we're going to have to do. See if I can stand this up correctly. Yeah, put it right there. So I got to lift anything mod. So basically, yeah, I got to lift it up high enough and then sell your eggs there. So I think I'm getting pretty close to almost $30,000 for a pallet. Since this is an empty pallet, we'll go ahead and bring this on back. I can lift up the empty pallets. They're not that heavy. So this is probably going to take me a while, seeing that I got so many flipping egg pallets to deliver. Actually, I can turn the traffic back on now because it's not going to be in my way, I don't think. So $30,000 for a full pallet, and I got a good amount of pallets to go. I think it's going to be a good day, except for the rain. But it's got to rain once in a while, right? You gotta water your crops. So let's give this a nice go here now, and we'll make sure that this sells properly. Yeah, I was trying to place it down. Yeah, I guess the trigger is up higher than I thought it was, so then I was thinking maybe you can't take it from pallets, but it can. Okay, it just worked. So are you telling me I can't have it on? It just worked. We saw it work before. It's to not recognize it on pallet forks. Well, that just, it's going to make it look non-realistic, it won't it? Okay, this is rather interesting. Alright. Now, place that down. Can I pick this up now? Let's bring this outside. And that's one thing about these. These will tip over rather easily. Alright, since I got many pallets, let's try this again out here. Okay, outside it works fine. So how much am I getting per pallet anyways? Yeah, 27,000. Alright. Let me bring this one back here. So am I going to have to leave that outside? That little vending machine? Can you drop that, please? Thank you. Yeah, the mod description says, like this little self-marketing area that you have here, you can place the vending machines inside. That's what it's for. But it seems like the trigger will not work if it's on the inside. We'll give this another go. I've only got 2 pallets done so far. It shouldn't have taken me this long to sell pallets, but hey, at $27,000 per pallet, I'm not going to argue with that. I'll sit here all day to do this if I could. So, on pallet forks, it will not sell. Apparently. I'm not sure. Yeah, let me just keep trying this a little bit. Maybe I can find a way to do it properly. This seems kind of weird. But our money's up to $101,000. That's what we need. Alright, I think I got it, so he says. So I got the vending machine back inside the self-marketing area. And I got it to sell off the pallet forks. And now I'm going to show you that it doesn't. Alright, so is it just because it's inside again? Maybe I need to edit this part out because this is getting frustrating. Alright, we'll put this outside. So, yeah, you cannot have the vending machine on the inside of the self-marketing area because it doesn't seem to pick it up for some unknown reason. So that makes it look just a little bit weird. Let me just check the mod again. Let's go to miscellaneous. It's going to be down, way down here, the list. A wooden house used for selling goods like hay. The building also offers the ability to place an automat in it. So these are the automats right here, and this is what we have right here. So yeah, you can place them in there. I am just curious. Let's go down to the one down here. Yeah, so we sold the milk in this vending machine, and this is inside of a building. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So yeah, if you are trying this out, right now I would say don't. If you have a problem, take the vending machine out of that building. Maybe it's just that particular building. I don't know, but I can't get it to work when it's inside the building. The contract in Field 35 for cultivating, that is done. I collected that. And now he's over in Field 30, Field 34, doing a contract for cultivating that field for like $2,500. Not much, but I figured, well, we're over there. May as well. And I don't know if you saw it quickly on the PDA, but we're almost done weeding field number 3. And that just leaves me to taking care of selling the eggs today. Well, at least as of right now. I mean, it's almost noon. And as we look at the forecast, yeah, there's no end in sight right now. Yeah, so this is working fine outside of the building. I don't know. I like to have it inside the building. Maybe what I'll do is when I sell it, I'll have to take the vending machine out. And then when I'm done, I'll put the vending machine back in the building just to make it look good. But, yeah, now that we know that it works, and Courseplay apparently is done. Yeah, so I'm going to be going here. I'll sell all these eggs. We're up to 200 grand in the bank account already, which is really good. And as we know, I'm getting $27,000 per full pallet. I got some pallets here not full, but I'm going to sell all these eggs. Now, it'll take me a little while here. No sense in slowing down the time speed because, like I said, I don't really have nothing else to do today. Yeah, so that trigger is actually way out here, but when it's inside the building, yeah, it just won't work for some unknown reason. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So if you've been fooling around with the self-marketing and had the same issue, or you're not having that problem, just let me in the comments below. Maybe something I'm doing wrong. I mean, the only difference I'm doing is I'm just putting the vending machine inside the building. I mean, you saw where it was this a little while ago and it wouldn't sell. I'm not sure. But anyways, let me go ahead and get more of these pallets sold. And I'll bring it back and we'll see what our total gets up to. Already, it's looking pretty darn good. Well, it kind of goes without saying that today is going to be a great day at the farm, seeing how much cash we now have in the bank account. And this is the last pallet I have to sell. Just shy of 700 grand. Not bad. And depending on the price of other things today, who knows? The wool we got over is 100,000. Wait, how many pallets do I have there? I think I have 10 pallets of 10,000 pallets. I think I have 10 pallets of pallets to hold 10,000 liters of wool. But the wool price right now isn't the greatest. Is it 10 pallets that I have? Because I got one that spawned. It's already starting to spawn. Those hold 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we got 10 of those. So I got 100,000 liters of wool right now. So let's go in here. What is the wool going for up here? Actually, it's not even the best price. That price stinks. The cotton price, $2,000. That is pretty good. And we got a lot of cotton down there. So I may have to sell that this afternoon, which would be like next episode. Right now, I'm not going to try to bring the vending machine in with a forklift because that will just go terribly bad. I'm going to put it back right where it was. Right there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I just couldn't get it to work while it's in there. I'll have to try it again another time off camera. Because it'd be great if I could just bring a pallet like right behind it and raise it up like I know. You got to raise it up. I know that much. But you got to raise it up. And I don't know if it's the shed itself causing the blockage of the trigger or not. But something's causing the blockage of the trigger. We'll turn that off for now. And we're going to zip on down here. Yep, here we go. Fold this little fella up. And we'll come back here in the contracts. Yeah, $2,250. We'll collect that. Anything in fields 33, 34, 35 for contracts? No. So halfway through the day, just shy of $700,000 in the bank account. Who knows what the afternoon hours will bring? Other than rain. I think it's going to be one of those all-day rains. So yeah, the next in-game day, we're just going to have fields everywhere ready for harvest. So I may have harvesters going in the western plateau, harvesters going over here on the east side. Going to be a busy day. The rest of my day pretty much will probably, I might go up to the tree farm and cut down more trees. And although I think the wood chipper might be full, I think that only can hold 500,000 liters of material. So I'm pretty well maxed out on the logs. The wood chips not so much. But maybe I'll just cut down the trees and prep them to go into the wood chipper. Then I'll have to keep an eye on my factories. My factory is actually down here. The sugar factory probably needs to be refilled. And the pallets need to be taken care of. But that's where we're going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy watching it. I do appreciate you watching it, as always. And I'll catch you next time right here in the Pacific Northwest. But until then, Have a good one.